Welcome everyone. So we are presenting our first case, an 88-year-old male with hypertension, type 2 diabetes mild to atrial fibrillation, treated with rivaroxaban. In the echocardiogram, we observe 31 millimeters, an aortic peak velocity of 4.4 meters per sec, and an aortic valve area of 0.77 centimeters. The STH score is 3%. In the EKG, we see an atrial fibrillation with left anterior fascicular block. The laboratory tests were normal, and the coronary angiography showed a severe lesion in the mid-right coronary artery. The femoral angiography and the CT scan show good caliber vessels without significant lesions. And in the cardiac CT scan, we observe an annulus diameter of 23.5 millimeters with a perimeter of 74 millimeters. The coronary height is 8 millimeters to the left main and 15 millimeters to the right coronary. The total Agaston calcium score is 673. The device chosen is the Allegra 27 millimeters, which is a self-expanding TAVR device. And our plan is to perform a pre-dilation using a 22 millimeters balloon. The access will be femoral guided by vascular echo, and the beam will be used for the transitory pacemaker. We have chosen a collagen-based vascular closure device called MANTA for the biggest artery closure.
Hello everybody, thank you for being connected with us. As you can see, we are doing now the angiography to check the view. As you can see, we cannot view now the right coronary sinus. Maybe we have to do another injection more proximally because sometimes, as you know, it is difficult. Okay, here you can see it. This is a frequent situation, so before repeating angiographies, usually it is better to do another angiography more proximal to completely fill the proximal aorta. What we have done up to now is we have punctured we are going to implant the valve through the right femoral artery. So we have chosen the left femoral artery for contralateral. Here you can see how we have filmed the iliac femoral are very good for transfemoral approach. Here you can see how Santiago Jiménez Valero has punctured the right femoral artery. We use for protection purposes contralateral wire, 18 wire. We usually use the steel core wire. We have already implanted the transient pacemaker through up to the right ventricle. Sometimes we use the wire that is inserted in the left ventricle, but we have decided to use the pacemaker. In this case, as Daniel TAVR has told you before, the patient has some conduction abnormalities, so we have decided to use the conventional pacemaker. Now Santiago has crossed with a Terumo wire through the left ventricle. We usually don't use this catheter to advance the Safari wire, but we use as an intermediate step. We interchange with 35 conventional wire. We advance the pigtail, as you are going to see now, and then we use the pigtail to advance the Safari wire in this case. As Daniel has told you, we are going to use an Allegra device. The Allegra device was developed by New Vascular Therapy that was acquired lately by Biosensors. So now Biosensors is the company. And this valve is a self-expandable valve that is retrievable, not completely, but up to 70-80% of the procedure. We are going now to use the right view to check how the Safari wire is going to be placed in the left ventricle. The height, the distance from the aortic annulus to to the right ostia is good. Is I think it's 16 millimeters, but the distance from the aortic annulus to the origin of the left main is only 8 millimeters. But the width of the sinus, aortic sinus, is acceptable. It's good. So we think that the risk of compromising the left ventricle is low. Of course, this is always the theory, but as you know, sometimes when you have an occlusion of a coronary artery during a TAVR procedure, it is frequent that the patient didn't have any theoretical risk factor for occlusion, and also there are sometimes patients in which the risk theoretically is high, but you don't have an occlusion. In this case, the distance from the aortic annulus to the origin of the left main was low, but we think that we can do the procedure without protecting the left coronary artery. So as this is a self-expandable valve, usually we perform a balloon dilatation. As in other devices, usually the balloon is 1-2 meters lower in comparison with the aortic annulus. The aortic annulus, I think it was 23.5 more or less. We are going to use a 22 balloon to predilate the aortic valve. So we are now preparing the balloon.
You can see probably in the angio that coronary arteries are very calcified, and as Daniel told you, there's some severe disease, but their lesions are not proximal, and the patient has no angina. So we decided it's another debatable thing, but we decided to go for the TAVR and not treat the coronary artery disease.
We are going to do the pre-dilatation. As you can see, we have advanced the 22 balloon.
Sube más.
Aquí. Bien, ¿no?
Okay.
Okay, the balloon is still moving, but I think the balloon has been well expanded. I think the balloon valvuloplasty has been successful. This valve uses 16 non-expandable sheaths, so it needs 16 French sheaths. The sheath that is usually with this valve is the Oscar sheath. It's a good sheath. It is not expandable, but I think that it's 16 French, but I think it's a good sheath with very hydrophilic. The minimum sizes for arteries is about 6 millimeters. That is required, but this is sometimes very variable with according to the anatomy, to the calcium, etc. The valve is ready. Okay, this device is very soft. The advancement is very flexible. You are going to see how flexible it is without any problem advancing the valve through the aortic arc. Okay, we are now positioned here. In this case, the Allegra device first is expanded at the mid part. This is called a permaflow because this allows that the valve is functioning since the first moments of the procedure. These are radiopack markers are gold markers. How you can see that there is a radiopack line should be more or less at the level of the aortic annulus. We are retrieving the valve. We are too high. If we are too high now, the last movement should be from the left ventricle to the aorta. So we have to go deeper and then go out again. So there is no good alignment of all the gold markers. So we try to go more caudal to align it. Okay, I think we are still too deep in the left ventricle. I think we have to go more proximal to the aorta. Dame un test, por favor. Pon marcapasos a 120, por favor. This valve doesn't need rapid pacing, but we are going to use 110, 120 pacing, or only to stabilize this, because the patient is with atrial fibrillation. Okay, I think we are here. Okay. cine. Ahí es el cine.
¿Dónde estás, no?
Venga, ábrelo.
Voy.
Sí. Ok, quita marcapasos. Sí. The valve has been opened distally. Sí, sí.
Sí, tranquilo.
If we don't like the position, we could retrieve the valve and use it again. Vale, retírate si quieres. Ok. 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 Voy a dejar ahí el píxel de momento. Vale, crea espacio.
The position is perfect.
Yeah, the position is perfect. Now we are going to open the most proximal part of the valve. Espera un poquito. Yeah.
And you can see the proximal part is deployed very slowly.
Yeah. Vamos a ver las T's.
Voy a terminar ya.
Okay. Now it is important to check that the T-bars that are, there are 3 T-bars in the most proximal part. We see that 2 of them are free. The other one also is free, no? So we can retrieve the system. The pixel is still there. We have to retrieve. Okay. Vale. Queda un poco enrasada, ¿eh? Ok.
Dame un poquito de escopia.
Vale. Queda un poquito enrasada. Tengo que haber puesto. Sí, bueno, a ver, a mí yo estoy acojonado ya, macho.
Sí, no posdilatación.
Vale. Bueno, vamos a poner
We are retrieving the system.
Sí, vamos a poner una geografía, pone 10-25.
And check with the pigtail again the result.
Pone 25 de volumen, deja 15, que si no sé. 15.
Fine.
Oh, you can change the
There's
wire.
important PVL, important regurgitation. We don't know if it is central or peripheral. The coronary artery are patent. Vamos a ver más caudales, a ver.
One option is to change with
Vamos
a
a hacer un
pigtail.
cine, a ver. Cine. Está muy justa ahí puesta, ¿eh? Uf, no me gustaría tener que posdilatarla. Vamos a cambiar por el pigtail,
a ver si mejora.
Es que esta se nos puede embolizar, ¿eh? Ok. We are going to interchange for the pigtail. Okay, the position is at the border of the annulus. This is to reduce the risk of pacemaker.
Sometimes the Safari wire makes the regurgitation, so hope that after this change with the pigtail here.
Okay, vamos a hacer otra inyección, a ver.
The arterial regurgitation improves a little bit.
This is still PVL.
Yeah.
So what to do? Post-dilate?
No, the debate is if we post-dilate for the regurgitation, as the valve is probably a little bit high, the risk of embolization is there. So this is the debate. Do an echo. And then decide.
But the regurgitation is clearly severe. We have to post-dilate. Yeah. So we have to do. The balloon has been the 23. But what I think is that it was a 23 balloon, not a 22. But the balloon, while being implanted, it was moving. So maybe this valve had a larger diameter than.
No, yo creo que cogería.
Unexpected.
Cogemos un Atlas de 24.
Venga, vamos a coger un Atlas de 24.
24.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are going to use an Atlas balloon of 24 balloon.
I have one question, Dr. Moreno, from Natalie. How did you ensure accurate placement of the Allegra valve during the procedure?
Yeah, the placement is with the line, that the radiopack lane that was. I don't know if you can see my finger here. This line should be at the border here. it was even 1 millimeter lower. So maybe that the valve finally was moved more proximally, 1, 2, 3 millimeters. We are afraid. So what we are thinking here that we are afraid of having a valve embolization during the post-dilatation now. And on the other hand, the valve is well expanded, so I am not sure. So we are also debating that the balloon that was used was a 23 balloon, and the balloon during the pre-dilatation was moving. So
you can show it.
Maybe that the aortic annulus was larger than initially thought. So here you can see how this is a 23 balloon that was inflated, fully inflated, but was moving during the inflation.
This is the debate. The patient had also a left anterior fascicular block, and to prevent advanced AV block, you prefer a higher implant, but if you put the implant so high, the risk of embolization is still there. So
the problem is that if we are going to reduce the post-dilatation, the regurgitation with post-dilatation or not, because the valve is well expanded. Okay, we have to post-dilate, no? So the risk we have here is to have an embolization. So the valve, when we were implanting the valve, the last step of the valve implantation, here the position was good. Now the valve is clearly higher, so the valve has moved during the retrievement of the system.
We're discussing also that the risk is not only the embolization, but also the valve could be shortened a little bit.
Yeah, embolization, I mean by shortening the valve and the valve.
Yeah. So this is the thing.
We're going to post-dilate.
Difficult decision, but we are going to post-dilate.
Necesitamos un manómetro. Espera, déjalo aquí fuera un momentito.
Sí, que nos falta manómetro.
We don't like the position. The position is too high at the end. Before the opening the proximal part, the position was 4 millimeters, 4 millimeters about 4 millimeters lower than the aortic annulus, and now one of the valve has been implanted is only 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters below the annulus. And when we have a post-dilatation, the valve can be shortened distally, and we could have a valve embolization. Hypothetically, if we have a valve embolization, should we implant the same size of the valve, or should we implant a 31 valve? This is another important question. I hope not needing to take this decision today.
We have to have it in mind before this dilatation.
Bueno, ponga 180, por favor. Dale. Vale. No quites marca todavía, deshincha. Quita marca. The valve has been opened, I think.
Yeah. Be careful with the balloon.
We have to be very careful now with the balloon.
Tira un poquito de la guía para que se separe de la válvula. Ahí.
Okay.
Perfect.
Tough moment.
Let's check the post-dilatation here.
Yeah, you can compare the pre and post.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that the valve is more open.
Yeah. Or we want to think that it is more open. I think so, but
sometimes it's a desire, but now I think it's objective that it is better expanded.
Okay. Let's do the final angio. I hope the final angio.
Another question for you. Are there any immediate interventions that can be performed to retrieve the embolized valve?
Yes, I will tell you now. Dale.
Much better.
Yes, we have implanted many of these valves. We have, of course, had some embolization, and we have been successful with snares, with 2 snares, using the TAVRs that are in the most proximal part of the valve. And we have left the valve in the descending aorta. Do we have some cases?
Una guía amplas, por favor.
I think 2 cases. Okay, there is still some perivalvular leak, but of course now it's maybe grade.
It's a great result.
Grade 2. No, more or less. Yeah. We can do the final angio at the right. We are going to do the final angio in this position in RAO to check the final result.
No, much better.
Mild PVL. Mild PVL. Okay, now what we are going to do now is to interchange the Safari wire by another wire to close the femoral artery with the manta.